This is the CHEO Telethon.
This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by Farm Boy. Farm Boy.
Welcome back to the 5 o'clock hour on the CHEO Telethon. It's great to have you with us. Our kids were in crisis before the COVID-19 crisis, and after more than a year of lockdown, switched to virtual classrooms, a lack of sports and hobbies. There is a real crisis brewing.
Isolation, lack of peer-to-peer contact, increased screen time, concerns over health and safety have led children and youth to experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and other unhealthy coping behaviors.
Joining us now is the Director of Mental Health at CHEO, David Murphy. Thanks so much, David, for joining us. Have you ever seen anything quite like this in terms of what our kids are facing?
No, absolutely not. We have certainly not seen anything like this. As you mentioned, we were in crisis. There was a mental health crisis with children and youth prior to the pandemic. And then you layer on this pandemic, and what we've been seeing is children, youth presenting with significant and highly acute mental health presentations. So an increase in suicidality, an increase in self-harm, an increase in substance abuse. It's been remarkable.
So tough to hear that and know that you're facing that situation. And I don't think any of us have any real sense of how long the effects of the pandemic may last. This is a crisis that we expect to continue to sort of unravel over the months to come.
Yes, absolutely. Many of us believe that, this pandemic, this mental health pandemic, will continue to go on potentially over the next few years. Following any medical pandemic, what we do know is that there is typically a mental health pandemic that follows a medical pandemic.
What is the best foot forward in the weeks, months, even a year ahead from your perspective in terms of starting to deal with it?
Yes, I think what we've been able to do is, in particular, I should have mentioned in regards to what we've seen in the increase within our eating disorders patient population. So as of today, even we're at 200% occupancy in our 6+3, 9 beds within the hospital. And there has been a number of different initiatives in which CHEO will be working with the community to try and build capacity, do training, to increase the overall system's skill set in regards to dealing with eating disorders, so we can get to it. We could get to it early, and we can see more children and youth in the community, because as it stands right now, our system is overwhelmed in trying to deal with this challenge.
So what would you say, David, to a parent who might be watching now, who might think that their child is in some kind of crisis, might require a trip to the emergency room, but hears about these capacity issues and the numbers? What would you tell them to do?
Well, right now we do have within our region, we have an integrated crisis line that's 24/7. They're excellent, trained, community-based mental health providers, and they are very skilled in being able to hear what the current situation is, help you walk through what steps could be required, and ultimately help you decide together if a trip to the emergency department is what's needed next. But this is 24/7. And CHEO clearly works very closely with that service.
When you're thinking of the dollars people are donating, what's coming into a day like today, where could it best be deployed in the work that you do?
Yeah. So within our emergency department, so CHEO has the highest number of pediatric mental health presentations to their emergency department in the province, where we average over 3,000 visits a year. Prior to being able to have some extended funding through the generosity of our community, what we've been able to do is move that crisis service from a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 to a 24/7, having a mental health professional in the emergency department, and we could not have done that without the generosity of the community to be able to help us.
We could end maybe with a message of hope as a parent who has had to rely on the mental health services at CHEO, when you can access those resources and those incredible people that are there, there is light for so many at the end. It feels like when you're in the middle of that kind of crisis that you're never going to move out of it. We had incredible success after our time at CHEO. I'd just love for you to send out a message of hope to some of the parents and teens and kids that are going through some of this right now.
Right. I would say we are certainly in a position in all of the work that we're doing and the attention that's now being highly focused on the mental health pandemic that we're facing. Our work within the community is we very much feel that we could be on the track to be able to see more kids, have more services available, and ultimately for that there is hope at the end of the tunnel in this regard.
We really appreciate you joining us on such an important topic and an important time, David. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's David Murphy, and yeah,
it's a tough job for those people who are already worked so hard and just trying to deal with those levels of crisis. We wish them all the best, and we hope we can raise some nice dollars for them in the last couple of hours here of our telethon.
Speaking of which,
yes, heading back to Leanne now with another donation. Leanne.
Thank you. I'm buzzing and tingling because I actually had a little bit of a sneak peek at the next Total My Heavens. Tara Lynn Hughes, who is a Senior Vice President of Greater Ontario Region for TD Banking Group. Tara Lynn, this is extraordinary, but first, let's talk about the solid relationship TD has with CHEO.
Thanks so much, Leanne. You know, all of us at TD are so passionate about CHEO, and we've been proud supporters for 27 years. You know, I think everyone watching this broadcast knows what a special place CHEO is. Certainly for me personally, my family, many of my colleagues' families have relied on CHEO over the years. And so really just to the CHEO team, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for your dedication, for your expertise, especially this past year, for your resilience. We're just all so grateful for everything that you do for our community.
Tara Lynn, that is so beautifully, beautifully said. And now you are about to present an extraordinarily beautiful check to CHEO in the amount of...
Yes, the big reveal. I am absolutely delighted to present this check for over $288,000. All of us at TD, our employees, our customers, we are just so thrilled to have worked together to be able to give this money to CHEO, and we know that it will go to such good use, making sure that CHEO remains the world-class health provider that it is.
Tara Lynn, thank you. You're thrilled. We're thrilled, elated, in fact, and so, so very grateful. Thank you very, very much for being here with that beautiful, beautiful donation.
Thanks so much, Leanne. And just want to say thank you to everyone for your generosity.
wonderful to see TD, another big number there. And we'd been talking about sort of the impact of this money directly on patients, particularly when it comes to mental health.
Yes, it's been a tough year for teenagers, tough to navigate the teen years anyway, often the first encounter with mental health issues if there are going to be some, and this has been particularly bad with kids out of school. And
Jackson Hunter is one of those people who have come out on the other end of it. Jackson, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you went through a very rough time through mental health. Tell us a bit about your story, and especially now in the context of so many others facing this, given what's gone on around the world for the last 15 months.
During high school, I struggled a lot with suicidal thoughts and depression and anxiety and trauma. And those things led me to seek services at CHEO, specifically through their inpatient services and outpatient services and their emergency department. So that was during 2018 and a little bit of 2019. So I can only imagine what going through that experience would be like without having the social support of being able to see people. So I can really, I really empathize with people and teenagers who are going through this experience without necessarily like social support and adequate resources.
Just not being able to see their friends face to face in some cases can be enough to push people down. You use a really good analogy about shoes and depression and walking through life. Can you tell that to us again, please?
The analogy that I remember, if I remember it right, is that antidepressants for me were, okay. So depression makes you feel like you're walking through life without shoes. And for me, having adequate support and what that looked like specifically was medication and therapy and social support and group therapy and psychiatry. So when you get those support systems, you suddenly have a good pair of shoes. And it's still your responsibility and it's your own drive within you. And it really is up to you to recover. But having those support systems, like I said, like medication and therapy, are essentially a good pair of shoes that make the pain of walking through life less hard when you have depression.
It's a really good analogy. It's something people can understand. And what struck me about it was the fact that it's not just one thing. There isn't one sort of magic treatment that can make this better. It is sort of a multifaceted thing.
Exactly. Everyone is unique, and I've been asked even by my friends, like, what should I do to feel better? And essentially, I always provide a list of things like, on a base level, journaling, getting to know yourself better, getting to know why you feel certain things. But at a higher level, like I said, like talking to your doctor, seeking out therapy, seeking out psychiatry. And in extreme cases, like the last person was saying, calling crisis lines and discussing if it's a needed avenue to go to the emergency department and then possible admission, which is something that we're obviously seeing so much of right now.
Jackson, appreciate your time as always. Thanks so much for this.
Of course.
A great window into what so many young people are facing, and he is clear-eyed and in a good place.
Incredible advocate for mental health. It means so much when it's someone who has been there and has gone through it.
You know who always brings a smile to people's faces at CHEO? It's Molly Penny.
Yes, she's brought a lot of smiles to a lot of faces, but since the pandemic, she hasn't been in the hospital. Today, though, she wanted to share this special message.
It's been a while. I'm really excited to be asked to be on the telethon. I used to be in the halls, and now I have to see you through the tele. Y'all look good, like really good. I just wanted to check in and tell the kids that I used to see in the hall, I really miss you guys, each and every one of you. It's important that you take care of yourselves, your parents, your grandparents, and stay safe. I'd like to thank the nurses, the doctors, the support staff, and everyone else who has been keeping you guys safe at CHEO. We need to do our part too, of course. Wear your mask, wash your hands, stay physically distanced from one another. If you're looking for ways to stay busy, you work on your crafts, your artwork, music, learn a joke or two to pull, or a trick to pull on your parents. Or you could write a letter to your grown-up self and talk about what's going on now and how you are feeling and how your family is coping as a team. Pretty soon, I hope we can be together again. And until then, know that I'm thinking about you and will be giving you big virtual hugs.
Those could be some incredible letters to your future selves about the experiences right now.
Great advice from Molly Penny.
Molly Penny, every child you ask, what's your favorite thing about going to CHEO? Molly Penny, right?
Fantastic to see Molly Penny again, and she will be back soon. We wanted to go back to Leanne, another check presentation, this one from the Brick. Leanne.
Thank you. This is when CHEO Bear is really, really grateful to another bear, a bear at the Brick called Brickley Bear. We have Daisy Aurora, who is the regional sales manager. Really wonderful to see you today, Daisy, because despite the times, you have managed to donate a significant amount to the Children's Hospital. Tell us about it.
Yes, so we've collected $67,000, just over $67,000 through the stores, over the phone, and with our collection through the Brickley Bear. And we're really happy to have collected that so far in what we collected in 2020.
Well, we are so incredibly grateful on behalf of the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. CHEO Bear is really giving the high fives to your Brickley Bear and to your entire staff and team there. Thank you so, so much, Daisy.
Thank you for letting us support you guys.
Whew, what a total. Yay!
Yay!
More checks coming in. Fantastic.
Bears all over. Love
Yeah.
this in the studio here today.
Yeah.
So great to see. We are going to go right back to Leanne now, keeping her busy today with a check presentation from Extra Life. Leanne?
It is such a thrill to be here to discuss how many ways people are raising money for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. And in this particular case, the top scorer, children at the hospital, we have Christy McPherson, who is with Extra Life Gamers. We're so grateful to the gamers out there. Tell us how you've raised the money for CHEO.
So we haven't done anything differently than we have in years past, other than we've been at home able to game more often. So we're like, okay, we're going to game. Can you support us? And the community came back in waves, like more than we ever imagined during a pandemic.
More than we ever imagined during a pandemic. So please, Christy, present the amount for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario from Extra Life Gamers.
$180,662.
Whoa! I think all computers will be beeping and everyone is probably cheering virtually from everywhere for you right now. We really, really appreciate that.
A big number from the gamers. Wow.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Yes.
We first introduced you to Milan Kumar during last year's CHEO Telethon. The 17-year-old cancer fighter was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia in 2019.
As he progresses through his 3-year treatment protocol, Milind has not let his diagnosis weaken his spirit. Milind joins us now live from his home. Milind, thank you so much for being here. You're going to have to tell us your secret. How do you keep your spirits up? Because a lot of us are struggling and not facing anywhere near as tough a road as the one that you are on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of the things, especially for us, not being able to, see our friends or people outside of our households much over the past year, it's been really important to still kind of do things that are good for you and good for your mental health and things like that. And for me, at least, it's been spending a lot of time outside. We've been getting some great weather lately, so really been trying to take advantage of that and just trying to have as many, virtual meetings as I can to just stay in touch with my friends and continue to spend time with them.
And doing school at home, how has that been?
Yeah, for sure it has been different and difficult doing school at home with, all the distractions that are around you and of course not being with a bunch of people your age and your friends. But I think it's really important to, again, still kind of stick to a routine, have a schedule that works for you just to make sure that you're at your best and at your most productive throughout the day.
Throughout this pandemic, when it hit in 2020, everyone said, wait till 2021, it's going to be so much better. Now a lot of us are saying, wait till 2022. I understand you have your eye on a very specific date. What does December 2022 mean for you?
Yes, December 2022 is a very big date for me because on the 10th will be the last official day of my treatment. So since I was diagnosed in August of 2019, we're a little over halfway there, and that's definitely a date I'll be looking forward to.
That's the light at the end of your own personal tunnel. And how are you doing physically? We talked about your mental health and your spirits. How are things physically?
Things are great. As of now, I just go to CHEO every 4 weeks for chemotherapy and then some occasional extra appointments, for blood work, x-rays, things like that. But definitely spending a lot of time outside. I've been able to shoot hoops on my net again, go to the tennis courts, play a little bit of golf now that the courts are open. So all things are going well.
Just about out of time here, but Milind, what's your big hope for the future?
Wow. My big hope for the future is just that instead of going back to, I guess, normal as it was before, that society kind of learns all the lessons that they've taken away from this pandemic and learns to appreciate each other and things like that, and that we go back to a new and improved normal for all of us.
Appreciating those little things. Milan Kumar, thank you so much for your time. You're an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
Great perspective there.
Try and adopt some of that.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Wow. Good for him. And Great talking about getting outside for everybody as well as for him and for the kids. And we've got
50K on the bike this morning before the telethon.
It was a beautiful day. It's a little warm. We have another big match coming up.
This miracle match is sponsored by Modern Niagara.
Let's go over to Leslie Roberts now. Leslie, did you get outside this morning?
Yeah, but I didn't do 50K.
Oh, well.
I did 10.
That's good.
I'm dead. How do you do it, Graham? All right, Milan, when his new normal and all that, so inspirational, and also inspirational, the folks at Modern Niagara, Canada's leading contractor, helping building owners, managers, general contractors fulfill their vision by meeting the mechanical, electrical, integrated building technology, and building services needs of their properties. They are driven to serve Canadians. Modern Niagara's work has a meaningful impact on our nation's infrastructure and on the communities we live in, we work, we heal. Thank you, Modern Niagara, for sponsoring this next miracle match up to 5,000. Let's take full advantage of their generosity, Matt Scooby.
Let's go. Let's start the clock. 3 minutes. Now is the time to call 613-730-CHEO. 613-730-2436. You can call toll free 1-833-744-2436. Those numbers are on the bottom of your screen right now. They will stay there for the next few minutes. If you're just tuning in, it's our first miracle match here, the 5 o'clock hour. So let's break it down for you. If you give $50 in the next 3 minutes, we're going to double it. Or Modern Niagara is going to double it, in fact, to $100. $250 becomes $500. This is the most impactful donation you can make in a time right now. Here's Milan talking about it too. Great stuff. And we also talk about building blocks, right? We talked about Modern Niagara being building and helping with the building. Well, did you know, fun fact, Leslie Roberts,
yes, go for
CHEO volunteers were actually working on the hospital for 10 years, for a decade, before it ever opened. That's how long it took for the whole thing to come together, and it's really, really special place now, and we need your help for it to continue to be that. Mina, how much time do we have left?
2 minutes left in this miracle match. Please call the number on your screen.
Oh, she's starting. Amina, it's got a timer. She's timing everyone.
She's serious.
So not only is the clock on your screen timing you, Amina's talking, and she's timing you now as well. Pick up the phone, give us a call
Make
as
them
things
busy.
get busy.
Get them busy. That's the takeaway here. On a serious note, the Director of Mental Health for CHEO, who was on a few minutes ago, talking about the fact that after a medical pandemic, there's a mental health pandemic just around the corner, lasting sometimes for several years. The demand is already there. What did he say? 200% capacity. It's only going to grow. So this is where we need you to help make it the capacity and the demand basically match, because that is the big issue right now when it comes to you mental health. And we're talking about more than anxiety, eating disorders. We're talking about so much in terms of stress. And unfortunately, it's only going to get worse, but we can make it get better in terms of help by calling right now.
Right now, they're already in crisis too. Now things are going to be even worse, so we need your help. Melina, how much time do we have?
1 minute left to join this miracle match. Please donate now.
Deb and their CHEO Bears say to donate, pick up the phone and call right now. That's all you have to do. That's how you can help, and we're going to double your donation. Thank you to Modern Niagara. I have a little challenge here, Leslie, too.
Okay.
William Desjardins made a donation of $200. He's challenging all Ottawa Carleton Board of Education chief custodians to match that. So, William, thank you for your donation. How about maybe even all Ottawa Carleton District School Board educators? If you're at the board, if you're listening or know an educator, give us a call.
Trustees, while we're at it.
Trustees.
Parents, why not?
No kidding. If you can, again, we know it's been a very stressful year for very many people. If you're in a position to be able to give back, to help us out this afternoon, give us a call, 613-730-CHEO right now.
They keep talking about the fact that a lot of people have saved money because they're not traveling. I don't know who you are, but if you've got that money, share it with us now. Make a donation. We'll be able to double it. And that is a big, big thing for the folks at CHEO.
Everyone's on the phone, all of our volunteers.
Nice.
And again, the phones have been very busy all afternoon. We're going to continue, and we're going to keep this up right up until 7 o'clock. Thank you to Modern Niagara, Graham and Patricia.
Another great miracle match from those two. They're kind of the Batman and Robin of the CHEO Telethon.
Who's Batman? We'll get them the costumes next year, so it'll be clear. Yeah, capes all around. We're going to go back to Leanne now with another check presentation. This one from Remax. Leanne.
Oh, thank you. And so often when we look to the summer skies over Ottawa and we look up at hot air balloons, we'll see the Remax balloon and the Children's Miracle Network balloon in the sky. There is such a link. You are both caring for the kids in the basket of those balloons. We have Jason Pilon, broker of record with Pilon Real Estate Group, representing Remax. The relationship is such a strong one. to CHEO. Jason, so lovely to have you here.
Thank you. RE/MAX agents in Ottawa are proud to support CHEO. It's been a long-standing relationship of more than 20 years. Our Miracle Home program and agent programs are, a simple yet impactful way for agents to make a difference as a whole, which involves proceeds from all sales transactions being donated to CHEO. And in addition, fundraising efforts this year, 2021, saw the introduction of many creative virtual events led by agents.
We know that it's been a very hot real estate market in our region this year, and we see that your brokers have been so incredibly generous spirited. Jason, I may just knock me off of this stool, but please read the total that you are donating to the Children's Hospital this year.
I'm absolutely honored. The total donated by RE/MAX offices from across the city totaled $192,145.
Real estate's all about location, and location is our Children's Hospital. And thank you for bolstering the care provided to the children of this region there. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you.
That money so
Amazing.
appreciated. As you heard, CHEO's emergency department is reporting a surge in mental health visits since the beginning of the pandemic.
But no matter what time of day or night, there is around-the-clock counseling available in the emergency room, there to help families during a crisis. Here's Leah LaRocque with more.
During a mental health emergency visit to CHEO, Marcel Lemia is there to help.
I am the person that supports youth and families that come in when they are struggling with any sort of mental health presentation.
Lemia is an overnight child and youth counselor, part of a team providing care and support 24/7. Mental health emergency visits are up since the beginning of the pandemic. CHEO joining other children's hospitals, declaring a mental health crisis among youth.
The volume as well is higher. I used to be seeing one or two youth and families over throughout the night, and now we're seeing multiple. Last night I saw 6.
CHEO psychologist Dr. Allison Kenny says loneliness, depression, anxiety impacting the level of distress in youth because of COVID-19.
Self-harm and suicidal thoughts, profound difficulty coping. We've also seen many kids present with disordered eating as well.
Before 24/7 counseling, families would need to wait until morning, sometimes up to 10 hours, to see a counselor. The around-the-clock support in the emergency room only made possible by donations to the CHEO Foundation.
CHEO Foundation has been able to commit to the 24/7 coverage of child and youth counselors in our emergency department.
Lemia says more support for mental health issues can continue to make a difference by expanding programs.
The struggles for these families and youth are not going away anytime soon, and I actually anticipate that they're going to ramp up, especially in September when school starts up again, hopefully.
Helping youth and their families return home safely.
Or be able to, help that family that is just really, really struggling, sort of see a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's kind of what makes me keep going.
Lots of pressure out there.
Yeah, you have to be able to see that light and not having to wait for that kind of service, right? Being able to go overnight, so valuable.
Yeah, even something as small as saying, and everybody does it, and he does it as well, like, if hopefully we can get back to school, right? That I hear that a lot from my kids. It's just like, what's sure now? What can we say for sure is going to happen? And it makes it very, very difficult.
Thought they knew, and then it changed, and they're just holding on until September. Yes, we're going to put some more dollars in the coffers for CHEO. We have another miracle match.
This miracle match is sponsored by Giant Tiger.
And let's head over to Leslie Roberts one more time. Leslie?
Yeah, everyone loves Giant Tiger. We want to say thanks. The All-Canadian Family Discount Store is sponsoring this miracle match. Community involvement, just part of what the Giant Tiger does. It's very passionate. Every store owner, every manager, they've been there for our community, and they're here today to support CHEO with this next miracle match. Aaron Wade is with us. Hey, as I said, Ontario loves GT, and I know that Giant Tiger loves CHEO.
Giant Tiger does love CHEO. Thank you for having us on today.
Tell us what you want the folks to know about why you're supporting.
So at Giant Tiger, one of our core values is to do what's right by our customers and by our communities. And one of the major ways that we exemplify that is by giving back to the communities that we call home. As an Ottawa-based company, we have been partnered with CHEO for over 30 years on various initiatives, and we're honored to be continuing that that partnership through 2021. We all know someone who has been touched by the services and support of this organization. The differences that the doctors, nurses, staff, and volunteers at the hospitals makes in the lives of the families that are there is just simply incredible. And it goes just beyond the Ottawa region, right across all of Eastern Ontario. We want to thank CHEO not only for allowing us to continue this partnership, but also for the great work that they do supporting their communities through what surely is a difficult time in the families that are going there's lives.
Well said. Thank you for the last 30 years, and thank you for today. Appreciate it as well. A miracle match, Giant Tiger. So let's spend their money, Matt.
Let's do it. Start the clock. 3 minutes. Thanks to Giant Tiger for this. Again, the miracle matches, if you haven't donated already, they're going to come fast and furious as we approach the final hour already. Where did the last 5 hours go of the telethon? Call the number on your screen, 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-24. I'm going to forget the number right now. 2436. I've only been saying it all day. I've been saying it in my sleep. We're doubling your donation for the next 3 minutes. Now, I've been watching the virtual phone bank, and I've been watching our volunteers who have been eagerly anticipate. You see them all come back. They all get excited.
Got a couple of them.
Look at there's a few of them waving. That means they're not on the phone. We need you to call. You can help. You can match, and we're going to double your donation right now. But you have to call.
I heard on social media in the last 20 minutes or so, a whole new group of people are watching because they've been busy outdoors and they're now tuning in. Thank you for that. And we hope that you will pick up the phone. The Miracle Match doubles your donation.
Michaela and her mom, how much time do we have?
Castle.
Miracle.
Nickel.
Match. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
Oh, Michaela, I just love that so much. Thank you so much for helping us out. And again, it's right there. She has the message for you. You have less than 2 minutes now to donate. Call the number on your screen. If you're not in Ottawa, if you're around the region, you can call us toll free as well. 1-833-744-2436 here with a minute and a half to go, Leslie Roberts.
Yeah, we're going to help kids like Michaela. We're counting on to do it. And we can double your donation for the next minute and 27 seconds. So pick up the phone. Make these people work. I mean, they're volunteers, but they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. So we're asking you for the same. Oh, apparently the lines are busy. That, you know what that means? It means get a glass of water, then sit back down
very quickly
and pick up the phone because you only got a minute 13.
In fact, by the time we can run across the street to Giant Tiger in their flagship location here down in the Byward Market, their first location, we can get back here. That's still time to make a donation, so call us. Xander, Charlie, how much time?
There's only 1 more minute remaining to join the Miracle Match.
Call now.
It's a $5,000 miracle match. You caught that one from
well,
Charlie
see,
too, right?
You're telling me out because this is so old school, and this is the way the kid just did this.
The kid did, Charlie just did this. Is it this now with the phone?
Because you're holding up the phone.
We're going to have that debate. We're going to continue to have debate. Regardless of what kind of phone you have, regardless of what it is, pick it up and call us right now. 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. And again, we talk about mental health and how important it is to be able to raise money for this hospital right now. The young people of this community and around our region, even as far away, we talk about Nunavut, we talk about the Northwest Territories. There are children from all over the country that come to CHEO in order to get the services that they need. Here's how you can help. Here's how you can, again, help support those kids. Sneak in here in the last 10 seconds.
There are 3 of them who are still waiting for calls.
They're so efficient. They've already taken the donation. They're moving on, so you can get it in now. Just in time. We want to thank Giant Tiger for sponsoring this $5,000 miracle match. Whew, that was a good one. Thank you, Graham and Patricia. Great job, guys.
They're looking exhausted.
They are. They're doing well.
Working
They're doing well. We're heading towards the final hour.
We're going back to Leanne now for one more check presentation. Leanne?
Thank you. PCL and Ellis Don are 2 huge builders in Ottawa. And in this instance, they've come together to really bolster the fundraising foundation of CHEO. Luc Deslauriers joins us now to talk about 4 special weeks in November of 2020, Luc.
Yes, we had a fundraiser. We put together, decided as a joint venture to have a fundraiser for CHEO. We call it the CHEOpoly, which was sort of a monopoly type board where all people could bid on tiles and raise funds and have camaraderie amongst the construction industry. So over 4 weeks, we put together that fundraiser and ended up raising over $89,000. We're quite proud of it. We'd also like to thank all of our vendors, sub-trades, and everyone that presented some monies and bid on the work, because it's a great great donation to CHEO. I know that every one of our sub-trades has at one time or another had dealings with CHEO through their family. It's a very important aspect of our community and taking care of our kids.
We want to thank you so much. That is a lot of tiles, a lot of gratitude, and Cheopoly. It just rolls off the tongue. I think you are really onto something there. Thank you so much to PCL and Ellis Dawn.
Thank you very much.
Cheopoly does kind of roll off the tongue, doesn't it?
Cheopoly, nice.
Finding all these different ways to raise money in a very different world.
And we've all been to the grocery stores and the LCBO in cases and asked for more money. We've got another check. We wanted to go back right away to Leanne Cusack and the folks at Farm Boy. Leanne.
Thank you. It's a CHEO Day, and it's also a Farm Boy Day. We have Rachel Perry joining us, representing Farm Boy, and we are really, really grateful. Farm Boy has made such a difference in our community in so many ways. Today, for CHEO, tell us about it, Rachel.
Yeah, so we're just so thankful to be a part of the Ottawa community, and every year we raise funds with our coupon book for kids, and the proceeds from that coupon book from our Ottawa and our Cornwall location go towards CHEO. So we're just thankful for our customers for purchasing the book and contributing to this amazing fundraiser.
Well, there was clearly a great deal of support because you are presenting, and we thank you in advance, you are presenting a check for
$84,653.
Whoa, it's a CHEO Day, it's a Farm Boy Day, it's a CHEO and a Farm Boy Day. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
More amazing numbers there. It's great to see.
Now we've got Leanne singing.
Yes. Well, how about grabbing some burgers from Farm Boy to help us out with this segment?
But that time, really good idea. This is one of the CHEO events we always look forward to. Let's head over to Matt Scooby again. Matt?
Patricia, you haven't sung yet.
No, I have not.
Still waiting.
I don't think you have either.
We'll get to that. No, not really either. So we'll get to more of that. The CHEO Barbecue is celebrating 29 years this year. To date, they've raised more than $800,000. An incredible event. And this year, it is going to be virtual again. So joining us now to talk more about an online Barbie is Kim Sales. So Kim, hello. First of all, tell us about what we're going to be doing for the virtual CHEO Barbecue this year.
Thanks for having us. For the virtual CHEO Barbecue Plan B BQ, repeat again this year, we're hosting a 3-day barbecue bender from June 11th to 13th, so this weekend coming up. And the whole goal of this is to get everybody engaged and to join in from wherever you are. So by taking us on social media, by using our CHEO Barbecue hashtags, that way we're able to engage everybody and get a really dynamic group of people barbecuing together, but apart from their own backyard. So you're virtually invited to the 29th annual CHEO Barbecue. Which is fantastic too, and hopefully we're gonna have some good weather for barbecuing next weekend. Speaking of barbecues, you have something out there. I can see the grill. Let's show off some barbecue skills. What do we have? Yeah, I like to do some tomatoes on the vine. They crackle and don't always fall off. Lots of veggies and some stuffed portobello mushroom caps. Ooh, and what are the stuffed portobello mushroom caps? What are they stuffed with? Do we know? Feta, mint, parsley, and basil from my garden. That doesn't sound very good at all, Kim, right? We talk about, terrible. The five and dine and just like food, always. It's always about food. Now, I know that too as well, for people that can't necessarily take part virtually, there is a barbecue, there's a menu for CHEO Barbecue at meetings. So tell us more about that. Yes, so meetings, they partnered with us, I should say, again this year. We're super grateful. For every CHEO Barbecue meal package, they're donating $10 to CHEO Barbecue. And last year we raised hundreds of dollars, if not thousands from them this way. And we'd love to see that happen again. So ordering is cutting pretty close. So make sure you have it in, and I'm putting my order in this evening for this weekend. I was about to say, now is a time as good as any, right, as well. If you're online donating to the barbecue, if you're online donating to the telethon, jump on there as well to place your order. And there is a part of the event that is new for the CHEO Barbecue this year. What's that? Yes, so this year we were able to pivot again and add our virtual 5K. So on site, when we have our regular event, we do have a 5K race available. However, we didn't do it last year. This year, we've built that in. So between June 1st and 30th, you can participate in a virtual 5K your way. So no matter where you are, again, walk, roll, skate, however you want to do it, complete it. And when you register, we'll send you a bib and a CHEO Barbecue 5K virtual medal. Love that. And love all the different ways that you can actually do that 5K. Of what it might be. Save some barbecue for me. Save some of that. You can do a little curbside pickup on my way home, okay? Sounds good.
Kim St. Hill, appreciate this. Thank you so much. It's the CHEO Barbecue. Another reminder, Kim said it as well, that it is happening on next weekend, June 11th to the 13th. Make sure to share the CHEO Barbecue love by posting and tagging your photos and videos on social media. Hashtag CHEO Barbecue, hashtag MyOttawa. Graham and Patricia.
You could leave now and do that curbside pickup and bring it back before the end of the show. That'd be perfect, Matt. Thanks.
That sounds like a better plan. One of the big events, of course, is Trees of Hope throughout the year, even with virtual and the pandemic. Leanne has a check presentation to show us again about the generosity of Trees of Hope. Leanne.
All that glitters is gold when it comes to the Fairmont Chateau Laurier's Trees of Hope. Deneen Perrin is a perennial CHEO supporter. I say she's the root of Trees of Hope, certainly the star on top. It's lovely to have you here as a CHEO volunteer with Trees of Hope. Deneen, what an event it has been over many years. How did you host Trees of Hope this past year?
Well, we're pretty excited because, believe it or not, people came out. We had companies come and support us. It was very last minute this year. We even got a new sponsor, Turling Construction, who sponsored one big main tree in the lobby. And then we had 17 companies come and decorate. And people could come and vote on their tree if they were dining in the hotel, or we also brought it in online. So people could see the trees and go through them virtually. So it was exciting, a little bit different. True pandemic mode, you know, everything's a little bit different, but we were able to still raise very important funds for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario.
This is always such a magical event, and you are about to present a magical virtual check, Deneen, for how much?
I'm very excited to say that we are donating $50,100.
That is absolutely incredible. As I said at the beginning, it's gold, it's silver, it's glorious.
Thank you so much.
Another great check, great event.
Definitely one of our favorite events that we look forward to every year.
He didn't know he had one, but at just 12 years old, Christopher Vallée was diagnosed with a severe and life-threatening eating disorder.
It has been a long and difficult journey for Chris, but with time and the support of CHEO, he realized recovery is possible. Here's Joel Haslam.
It's fitting to see Christopher Vallée walking among spring's flowering trees. Life's blooming, new beginnings in full blossom.
I think I was reborn again. All the qualities that I had to work on are worked on now, and I'm just like this new person. I'm living my life as I was meant to live it when I was born, essentially.
That hasn't always been the case. For years, Chris's life was filled with pain and torment, the promise of a future uncertain.
There were many times in my recovery journey where I wanted to give up and leave this earth. Like, it makes you feel like you don't belong, and it's really, really tough.
Chris's struggles began at a young age. A sensitive and shy kid, often bullied at school. His mom's former boyfriend, hypercritical of Chris's food choices and lack of exercise.
That sort of fed into my crazy relationship with food, my unhealthy relationship with food, and that kind of is how it all began.
Chris began exercising compulsively to lose weight, counting calories, obsessing over his body image, and eating less. These choices, in his mind, a path to happiness, despite glaring and seemingly obvious warning signs.
You realize that you're vomiting in the morning, your hair's falling out, you're weak and you fall, you're always cold and shivering, but yet those signs aren't enough because that voice in your head is pretty much what you worship every single day.
After fainting in gym class, Chris was rushed to CHEO, where his undernourished body was connected to a life-saving IV. Chris livid about an intervention he just didn't want.
Because these people were going to refeed me, and that was my worst nightmare, is getting back to a healthy weight. I didn't want that.
The next day, at age 12, Chris was diagnosed with anorexia.
I was crying, and the first thing I said is, no, I'm not skinny enough. And here I was, this like 75-pound kid, very visibly hurt, but I still wouldn't accept it.
Doctors say an eating disorder is a severe mental illness where people feel shame, guilt, even terror about the food they eat.
And as they get sicker and sicker, the thoughts get worse and worse. It gets to the point where it's not a choice for a young person. They can't just be sent home and told to eat more. And it becomes very, very dangerous.
Doctors at CHEO's eating disorder program offer medical and psychological treatment, working intimately with struggling patients and their families.
And we help to separate them from those thoughts and to realize that the thoughts are lies and that they're destroying them, and that it's so important for them to be able to take their nutrition.
And during the pandemic, CHEO has seen a dramatic rise, 63%, in the number of patients admitted to hospital with eating disorders. Isolation, loneliness, and boredom having tragic consequences.
And the end result has been very high rates of depression, anxiety, eating disorders, substance abuse, and to be honest, it's heartbreaking. And as somebody working in the field, a little bit overwhelming in terms of the numbers of young people coming in distress.
With courage, strength, and perseverance, recovery is possible, but the journey can be long. Chris went through many treatment options at CHEO and elsewhere before committing to CHEO's 6-month day program. And even then, questioned his decision.
And as much as you wanted this, was there still something inside you saying, I don't want this?
Every day I regretted my decision, but there was a moment at one point, I think I was 4 months in, that I finally said, like, this is the decision I'm taking and I'm not going back on it. And I never went back after that.
Chris has completed his treatment at CHEO, is now a mentor for others living with eating disorders. He's finished high school and college.
Ra Meredith is a community volunteer.
And he now works as a TV reporter, doing stories for the blind, partially sighted, and disabled communities. He's forever grateful to CHEO for his recovery and urges others who may be struggling to know there's help and hope.
If someone's watching this and they're currently struggling, just know that I'm believing in you and I have faith in you, and so does a lot of other people in the world. Get the help that you need. Don't be ashamed of it. It's very worth it, and it's going to set you up for success.
Amazing story.
And that has been heartbreaking at CHEO to see those numbers go up the way they have with dealing with that explosion in eating disorders and how tough that is. This is a good news story, though. We have Chris Valley with us to share your journey, and wonderful to see you doing so well, and appreciate you sharing that. But it's such a complex problem, right? An eating disorder, there's no quick fix. You were in and out of CHEO a number of times. How much do you credit that final day program at CHEO with your recovery and where you are now?
It is the reason why I'm here today. Like you mentioned, I was in and out of hospital constantly. And it wasn't until the moment where I finally realized that I wanted to do things in life and I had goals to achieve. And in order for me to achieve those goals and go on to live a life full of happiness, I had to get rid of this disorder and this voice in my head. So I finally sat down with my team and I said, listen, this is going to be very difficult, but I have to do it. And this is how I'm going to be successful. And together we tackled it together, and it was very difficult, but I made it across that road.
What do you think now when you hear about the numbers going up the way they have during the pandemic, and those struggling with eating disorders struggling to access the help that they need?
It's actually heartbreaking, very, very heartbreaking. You know, when I was struggling with an eating disorder, I envisioned 2021 to be a year where the numbers are lower than when I was struggling. But here we are in this situation where there's more and more people struggling every year, and it's heartbreaking. It's very, very sad.
You're a mentor. You've gone into the CHEO program and spoken to some of those in there. How do you feel what you have gone through can be used to help others?
It's really my way of giving back. CHEO has such an important part of my life. It is the reason why I'm here today, as I mentioned, and it shaped me as the person I am today. So any way that I could give back, whether that's through CHEO or Hopewell, and shine a light on this important topic and sort of allow, there's no magic pill. I wish I could give these teenagers an inside look on my brain now and how great it is to recover. But hopefully me verbalizing the importance of recovery and how important it is some type of way for them to understand the need for recovery. So I try to do that as much as I can, sometimes on a monthly basis.
Well, we thank you for your contributions and congratulations on your new career and where you are now, joining us in the world of TV. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, you as well.
Very complex, and it's wonderful for him to come on and talk about it.
And very hard to dive into in just a couple of minutes because, yes, the experts will tell you it is one of the most complex mental health conditions that there is, and the people that need help often don't want the help, so you have to get through that barrier to begin with.
We have another miracle match coming up, Patricia.
This miracle match is sponsored by Wired Synergy.
Getting close to the 6 o'clock hour, let's head over to Leslie Roberts for this miracle match. Leslie?
Yes, and that means people pick up the phone right now. We want to thank Wired Synergy, founded in 2006, father and son duo, Andre and Rock Picknell. Wired Synergy is a company that is no stranger to the electrical infrastructure and maintenance industries. It has been a key supporter of the CHEO Telethon for many, many years, inspiring the community to join them in supporting CHEO with a $10,000 miracle match. Thank you, Wired Synergy. You were kind of wired there, doing the dance to the music
Every time that music comes on, you got to move. Let's start the clock, shall we? This is, again, a huge miracle match, $10,000 for the next 3 minutes. Graham just mentioned it, too. We're getting close to the 6 o'clock hour. Jam-packed end to the CHEO Telethon. So call right now. Get your donation in because we're going to be coming at you very quickly here. So give us a call, 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. Right now is the number to call. In case you're tuning in, we'd just like to recap as well, doubling your donation. If you give $25, and again, no donation is too small. We can't stress that enough. We do it with the support of everyone in our community. $25 turns into $50, $100 turns into $200, all the way up for the next 3 minutes until we get up to $10,000. Thank you, and again, courtesy of Wired Synergy. So thank you if you've donated already. If you haven't, you still have time. There's a few people who aren't on the phones. We know they've been busy, and we know people are dialing right now.
Look who's waiting to take your call. CHEO Bear.
CHEO Bear.
Give him a call right
there
now.
for it.
I think this is the first time he's been on the operator thing.
Emily, how much time do we have?
Only 2 minutes remaining in this miracle match. Call the number on your screen.
CHEO Bear almost missed the start of the telethon earlier. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Was kind of snoozing here, an afternoon nap. Not that I blame him because, you know, hot outside.
Out there,
It can be rough. We get it. We understand. But tuned in fully right now, ready to take your call. All you have to do is call that number on your screen right now, and you can double your donation and have a huge impact on the kids and the families at CHEO right now.
Yeah, CHEO did so much through a pandemic. Did you know they were the first hospital in Canada to pivot very quickly and created a virtual emergency room? There were 100,000 outpatient virtual appointments throughout the pandemic as well. And of course, they're gearing up because the demand is going to continue post-pandemic, and that's why they're counting on you.
Yeah, you think about those numbers, sorry, 200,000. Think about an appointment with your doctor, how long that takes sometimes. Yeah. It's not like it's always just 5 minutes and out.
No.
That time adds up very quickly to be able to do something like that. So, so impressive and so vital for our community. Ella and Audrey, how much time do we have?
Only 1 more minute in the miracle match. Call now to donate.
And this is a $10,000. Thank you so much, girls, for that. But it's a $10,000 miracle match. Things are busy, which is always a good thing. Again, we know that they're getting ready. They prep for the miracle matches that we know people are going to call. So thank you if you're called already. And again, if you haven't, reach out to someone. And if you can, maybe not, but again, every little bit counts, especially right now.
There are so many community events, of course, every year. Oh, the pandemic hit, and then suddenly a lot of them were canceled, right? The big galas where they raise, large amounts of money, canceled, which is why this telethon is more important than ever. To make sure that those programs and the research that's not funded by government money, that they continue. And as the demand gets greater, that means we got to step up Ottawa and give even more money.
We've had, you've seen the top board, you've seen the total so far. We're still inching upwards and upwards and upwards. Thank you to everyone that's donated already so far. And again, don't forget too, we've had some of those big check presentations, but it still continues right up until 7 o'clock and beyond, CHEOtelethon.com as well. So thank you to everyone that's making our volunteers work quite hard. They're getting pretty efficient at this. The phones have been busy all afternoon, but again, thank you to Wired Synergy for that wonderful miracle match. Graham and Patricia.
Thank you, Matt. 1 more hour and a bit to go. We're going to keep at it, for sure.
Keep at it. It's the big hour, the 6 o'clock close, right?
Absolutely, yes.
We want to head back
when the magic happens.
When the magic happens. We want to head to Leanne and the RBC Race for the Kids in a Check presentation. Leanne.
Thank you. We never like to race through a telethon, but we are racing to get to this presentation. From RBC Race for the Kids, we have Marjolaine Houdon here with a beautiful give, all directed at youth mental health. Tell us about it, Marjolaine.
Well, we know that youth are struggling more than ever. They need our help. They need access to mental health programs like the ones offered at CHEO, and that's why RBC is so happy to be a strong supporter.
Well, we've been discussing the need for youth mental health support throughout this telethon. We are so incredibly grateful, and I know that over the past few years, there's a promised give of $1.6 million from RBC. What have you brought along for us today, Marjolaine?
You're right. Over the last 4 years, $1.6 million were given to CHEO to support youth mental health program. And just this year, RBC Race for the Kids raised over $600,000, all to support youth mental health programs at CHEO.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much. It is so wonderful to hear a banker deliver a check like that. We are really, really thrilled and gratitude-filled. Thank you.
Another event we've had a chance to enjoy
Huge.
over the years. Yeah, big. Okay, this is where we find out just how successful Leslie and Matt have been in getting you to ring that phone. Here's our total with 1 hour to go. We are sitting at
$6.5 million.
$6.5 million. So that makes the two of them together the $6.5 million men, I guess.
Men,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We're into the final hour. We're getting there shortly. And it's been an exciting day, and that number is fantastic considering where we have all been for the last little while. Well, what started out as a tweet for $1,000 now led to chest waxing, dyed hair, and quite a few shaves.
Chest waxing? Take a look.
Pineapple pizza is disgusting, in my opinion, but that's a bet, so I'm gonna eat it.
I have not had a haircut like that since I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
In case you missed it, our very own Matt Scooby's getting his head shaved tomorrow.
We've talked about it just a wee bit.
Just a little bit.
And that
There
hair
he
looked
is.
really great outside his house. How are you feeling, Matt?
I'm feeling great. I can't wait to get rid of it. It's so long on the sides and in the back, so it's been great. It's been quite the run of 2 weeks leading up to this. Again, we talked about it. It started with a tweet from OSEG's Chris Hoffley, wanted to raise $1,000 to shave his head for CHEO, and it kind of, you saw Tim Tierney, his wife Jenny, so many others that have gotten involved that have shaved their heads. We are up over $230,000 here this afternoon that we've raised for CHEO. So thank you to everyone that's donated. Thank you to everyone that's participated. I can't wait for this to go. Honestly, like there's a lot of hair around here, and it's going to go right down. We're going to take it all off. You saw it on Friday if you saw the show at 6 o'clock, what it looks like in that last interview as well. So I'm excited for all of it to go. Thank you to everyone for this. I'm going to be looking a little different tomorrow. We're shaving it live on CTV News at 5 tomorrow. So tune in to that. And for now, we have 1 hour remaining in the CHEO Telethon. We're going to be back to wrap things up. Big hour after this.
This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by Farm Boy. Farm Boy.
Hey everybody, it's Mahler, Rush, and Jenny from The Morning Hot Tub, produced by Mr. Brady Jones on the new Hot 89.9.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting CHEO. Keep donating. You can never support enough. You can never donate enough. Donate and support. Support and donate. You can do it in any order you want. Just make sure you do it.
Please stay safe and healthy, everyone. Thank you so much for all that you do. And here's hoping we have a little bit more of a normal summer this year.
Everybody else kind of said everything, so. Have a good summer.
Every child deserves hope and healing, specialized care. 170 hospitals, 14 in Canada. There's one near you. They all need your support. Children's Miracle Network, helping local kids.